Hey there. So in this video we are going to talk about embodiment, and we're going to talk about like energetic embodiment, or the kind of embodiment that I'm doing on this channel most often, and see how it differs from other kinds of embodiment, and also how you can learn embodiment, how you can be more present and alive in your body, and what are the benefits of embodiment. And hey, if this is the first time that we meet, I'm Jonas Erb, and on this channel we talk about authenticity and personal growth. We provide tools and ideas that help you gain clarity, freedom and fulfillment in your life. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. So embodiment, or energetic embodiment, the one that I'm talking about usually, is the idea that you can be present in your body, you can be aware of the aliveness in your body, and by doing that you're gonna feel more present as you're going about your day, as you're going about your life, and also as you're going about interacting with other people. And in today's society, today's world, we are very much in our heads, like thinking is really prevalent. So like thinking a lot and being like in our heads, in our like internal gravity, being like up here, that kind of creates an unembodied or disembodied state, which actually means, and I usually use this kind of analogy, that if you are like, let's say this is like your body and the center of gravity is all up here, and there's like a big weight up here, and there's like a big wind coming, it's gonna be hard to hold your body, you're gonna probably fall over. But if you are going to have your center of gravity lower and there's a little wind pushing here, then you're gonna be more grounded, you're gonna be able to like deal with that wind. And that wind could be anything that happens in your life. That could be any challenge coming your way, there could be any difficult situation coming your way, anything that's coming your way that's challenging you, that's putting pressure on you, because wind is like the pressure. And if we are just in our heads, if you are living in our heads and not connected to our bodies, like disconnected from our bodies, then we're gonna have a very hard time to deal with challenges or unexpected things happening in our lives. Maybe you know that kind of person that is like doing so many things and like has all these ideas and is thinking a lot, but then suddenly when something unexpected happens, this person is just like running around, oh, I have to do this and that and whatever. And by being so quick and like ungrounded in the way that this person reacts to the situation, it probably makes the situation worse, or at least it's not the most effective way to deal with the situation. If you are more embodied, if you're more present in your body, you're going to be able to deal with the situation in a more relaxed and neutral way, or at least you have more relaxation to think about the right way to approach the situation. One other thing that embodiment is going to help you with is to manifest things in the world, because the body is our interface to the physical world. If you have ideas in your head, they are going to need to go through your body to be able to manifest in the world. So the more you are actually aware of your body, and the more you're present in your body, the easier it is going to be to actually manifest things in the world. Because no matter what you want to do or create, you're going to either like use your voice, like talk to someone, or like using your body like you're doing something in the physical world to actually make something happen. It just makes it more easy to create things, because you're not just in your head like in this very short-lived, like I have this idea, that idea. You might know some people that have like all these ideas, but they're like never really manifesting or kind of embodying, creating any of these ideas, like bringing them into the physical world. And usually that's because they're not embodied. They're not present in their body. They can't like take it from that idea space, from this like very kind of like ephemeral, short-lived idea space, into like a more physically grounded and embodied space. And what's the difference between this embodiment and other kinds of embodiment? So the general idea is that you're gonna feel and be more present in the body, and there's different ways to actually get there. The way that I'm usually teaching is has got a lot to do with like energetic embodiment, as in like feeling what's happening inside of your body, and you're not doing so much physically. But there's other approaches where you're doing a lot of physical stuff, like maybe you're shaking off your body, or like maybe you're screaming, or you're doing like other kinds of like kind of extreme things, or maybe like doing extreme sports or stuff like that. And all these things have their benefits. Yet I think the most important thing is really to be aware of this internal energy or aliveness in the body, because this is what's gonna make you feel different. Because if you're in your head and you feel this, maybe even feel this tension in your head, and you start to like suddenly be able to like have your center of gravity being lower here, I already feel like my voice gets lower if I have my center of gravity down in my belly than if I have my center of gravity up in my head. Like it's kind of like, it feels and it sounds different. And any kind of embodiment, in my opinion and experience, should have to do with increasing our capacity to feel and experience the aliveness in our bodies, and also maybe where the energy is stuck. Because actually emotions are stored in different parts of the body, and stuff that we weren't able to process when it happened, it will show up at some point in our bodies. And if we are going to be able to be present with different, parts of our bodies, and being able to connect to the body more profoundly, this kind of stuff can actually come up and be processed. And so we're going to be actually literally more relaxed in the body, because tension that is stored in the body is released through us just putting our internal attention there. And I'm not talking about like internal mental attention, because you can think about the body, but I'm not talking about thinking about the body. Like I can think about my left leg and not really feel it, but I can actually feel it and be there with like my internal awareness. Maybe I'm like pushing down into the ground a little bit, and suddenly I feel more of the internal movements inside of my legs, like the internal aliveness. So this is what's the difference between different kinds of embodiment. But in my opinion, all embodiment should be focused on like bringing more aliveness and presence into the body. And so if you feel like you want to do more embodiment and don't know how, then I'm going to talk about how you can be more embodied. By the way, I do also have another video which I did a couple of years ago. You can also watch that, which is also really good, and like ways to have more embodiment. But I'm going to show you some ways to have more embodiment, and also expand on the certain things for you to be able to be more embodied and feel more relaxed in your body. And by the way, one other advantage that I'm not sure I've already talked about is that other people are going to feel a lot more relaxed around you if you are more embodied. Because on some level, if you're just in your head, maybe you know that kind of person that's like thinking a lot, has all of these ideas, but this person isn't really like manifesting any of those ideas, or is like just a little intense, and you feel like this uncomfortable feeling in your body because they're like, maybe they're so quick in their thinking, or they change their mind very quickly, or they do a lot of uncalibrate, or at least like very quick movements or actions, and it just feels a little weird. You don't know like what should I expect. And that's when someone is really ungrounded, or in their head, like very much in their head. That's like this symbol again. It's like if they're just here, they're just suddenly always changing their mind, and stuff comes and they're like boom, 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 a little wind comes and they're coming swing this way and that way. If you're more embodied, you can be more relaxed and you're more able to deal with this wind. And so you are going to feel if someone else is disembodied or not grounded in their body. And it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel there's something off about this. So one additional benefit of embodiment is really that you're going to be able to connect more with other people, and in a more relaxed way, in a more beautiful way. So the first way to start to be more embodied is to feel into your feet and to feel into different parts of your body. So let's do this together. And just like be present with the connection of your feet with the ground. You can like push your feet a little bit into the ground, as in like you're just lowering your weight a little bit on one leg. And by the way, that's what I said before. As I'm doing this, I already feel some kind of emotions coming up. And that's like actually a natural process. Like if if you're more embodied in your body, some kind of stuck energy or some kind of, stuff that's been stored in the body is going to come up, and there might be some emotions coming up, and you can just take that as an opportunity to be present with what's alive in you. You don't want to like change the emotions, or you don't want to run away from them. You also don't want to indulge in them, like as in dramatizing it. It's like, oh my God, this is so much or whatever. You just allow them to flow through your body because they just want to be seen. They just want to be there, and you give them a space to be there and to be seen, and so they're going to flow through your body, and you might feel some emotion, and then they might be gone. So we're just feeling into the foot, into the feet, or into this one foot. Could be in the left leg or on the right leg. We're just pushing against the floor, just seeing, can we feel, I already see feeling more relaxation. Like, can I just feel that contact? Maybe I put my weight a little bit to the front of the foot, and then a little bit to the back of the foot. Just exploring that connection to the ground, and just see, could I allow myself to feel the presence and the aliveness in my foot? This is also usually what we do when we want to ground ourselves. And yet it is also, I think, the most easy way to start feeling your body and grounding, because since we are usually up here, if you're going to like take the other extreme point of our body, which is down at the feet, it's going to help us to really kind of change our center of gravity and really lowering our center of gravity, so we can just be more present in our bodies. And then you can do the same thing with the other foot, and just see if you can feel any aliveness. And you don't have to like think too much about it. Just see if you can allow that presence to come to your consciousness. Like if you can allow yourself to just feel more with what is already there. You don't try to like force any feeling. And if you don't feel anything, that's okay. That's part of the process. And that is actually also a feeling. It sounds a little weird, but not feeling something in the foot, that not feeling is also a feeling. So just be present with that if you really don't feel anything. Just allow yourself to be present with the not feeling. And if you feel any tingling, you probably feel the tension of the foot to the floor, like the floor pushing back. So just focus on that. And then see, maybe it expands into just being able to feel a little more of like what's actually happening inside the foot. Like, how does my foot feel inside? And then we're doing more. We're not doing more, we're actually doing less. We're just allowing ourselves to feel more. And so we just allow that internal awareness to like expand more, like up from our feet, slowly up our legs. Almost as if there could be like, if there was like a wave of like relaxation coming through our bodies from the feet into the legs, and slowly coming a bit higher, just allowing ourselves to feel our hips, our feet, our legs and our hips, and just seeing if we can feel that internal awareness, that presence coming lower and lower. Almost, you can also, maybe it helps sometimes to like imagine that there's a little UFO inside your head. That's representing the center of gravity of your internal attention, and you can just lower that and allow that to come down, lower and lower. And just play around with that. If you were like able, as if you were able to like consciously, place your internal awareness or your feeling ability anywhere in your body. Like just playing around with it, and also playing around with like going into your knees and feeling more towards like the ground. Because we are usually so much in the head, it really helps to try to just like, if you could just let everything like fall down into the earth and see if you can just feel more from the lower parts of the body slowly coming up, that like internal awareness. So that's really the first way for you to start practicing embodiment, is to like feel as if you did like in a meditation, starting in your feet, like into your body, just meditating on that, feeling that, but not in a mental, like mentally kind of contemplating it, but more allowing what you usually didn't feel to come to your consciousness, and feeling that and allowing yourself to connect to what's already there. And you know, there might be emotions coming up, there might be thoughts coming up, kind of like bringing you back up here, and then just see if you could like almost let go of that and let it fall down, and almost as if your internal feeling could just fall down lower in your body. One other thing that you can do is you can see what happens with your voice if you're like kind of like sounding like this. And you try to see like what happens if you focus on different parts of your body and how that affects your voice. For example, if I try to sound from the belly, it might sound something like that. I'm also noticing right now I'm not fully arriving at the lowest part of my belly in my like internal feeling, so I can't fully access the most lowest belly part right now, which is I'm not 100% embodied in that part. So right now, and so if I do try to like have my internal attention on the head, then let's see how it sounds like. So it sounds very different, and it sounds a little higher and just like ungrounded. And that isn't because I was trying to like make it up. That was like how it comes out, as like how my voice comes out if I really change the internal awareness. And so when you feel like your voice is very high or like ungrounded, then it probably has to do because with the fact that you're not feeling lower inside of your body. So just taking that as another idea to play around with, and seeing what happens if I focus on different parts of my body. And you can do the same thing, focusing on different parts of your body and being present with different parts of your body as you talk with other people. Because you're going to feel different when you're present in different parts of your body, and the other person is also going to feel different because the other person is going to feel what you're feeling on some level. So I invite you to play around with this. And one other thing that I can invite you to do if you have a really hard time to feeling anything in the body is something what they usually do in Qigong, which is just like activating the body, which is more of the physical part. It comes a little bit from that physical kind of embodiment, but you're basically just like tapping on the body, on different parts of the body, and through that you're just like activating your internal like your sensational awareness, you know, because then you suddenly feel the skin. You basically, by doing that, you start to feel the surface of the body, which is like the kind of which is like the interface between your body and the outside world. And if you want to develop more embodiment, you can start from the surface and see if you can like feel the surface as you're like tapping onto it, and see if you can like let that like awareness expand into a little bit more into the body. And we're not talking about like feeling your organs or stuff like that. We're just talking about anything that you're feeling, any aliveness, anything that you that you can feel inside of your body. So this is how you can start to embark on this journey of embodiment. If you want to know more about embodiment, make sure to check out my channel. And if you feel like you're really much in your head and you really want to go lower in your body, make sure to check out my embodied authenticity coaching, where I help a lot of people actually be more embodied and also process their emotions and just be more present in their bodies and not so much in their heads. And if you feel like the relational aspect is important to you, I am launching this new course called Deep Emotional Intimacy and Connection Training, where we're talking a lot about how you can be more present in your body as you go about relating with other people and seeing how that can affect your relationships in a positive way by you being more relaxed and more able to share from a more grounded place and from a more embodied place, being able to connect on a more deeper level with other people and just have generally more nourishing and fulfilling relationships rather than just being like up in your head, like spinning around. So I'm gonna link those two things down in the description below. You can sign up for a free 15 minutes vision and challenges call where we can talk about the vision for your life and the challenges that you have, which is a free 15 minutes call. And also make sure to check out the course if that's something you're interested in. Also, there's a lot of videos on embodiment and releasing and different kinds of things about that kind of topic on that channel. And I also have this other video on my channel on embodiment, so make sure to check that out. This is an older video, and there's also some interesting tips and ideas on how to be more embodied in that. And if you liked the video, I would really appreciate you hitting the like button. And if you got a value out of this video, I would really appreciate you subscribing to my channel by pressing on the subscription button. And also, if you want to be notified when new videos are going to come out, make sure to press the notifications bell so you're going to be notified when new videos are going to come out. So thank you so much for watching, and I would invite you to watch some more of my videos on this channel. So this one is the one that I was talking about, the older video about embodiment, and this one is the one that YouTube thinks you would like the most. So have fun watching and have a great day.